Hello my lovelies, this is the day. Today we're going to finish Aladdin part 5. This is the last part, finally, yes, and we're going to also talk a little bit in the end of this video, conclusion and the summaries and some thoughts regarding the story. The last time, in the part 4, we finished it that Aladdin, he killed the magician from North Africa, and we thought, we conclude that it's everything done. However, not. In the original book, which was written by Galland and Diab, there is a continuation, and it's interesting continuation, and to be honest, I never ever heard myself until I got the book. Even if you go to find some online copies, they are not mentioning that. Majority, they're not mentioning that. And even there is a retold story of Aladdin, for example, in Iran, in Central Asia, even in Middle East, they excluding this part. I'm not sure why they're excluding this part, but it's quite different and interesting. The magician from North Africa, interestingly, had a young brother. Young brother, he was also more wicked, and he was also knowing the art of magic. Can we call it art? So he was aware of the magic, and he used the magic. So both brothers, they are magicians, and they used to contact each other. Of course, they used to contact each other using a magic. There is a interesting part here. The authors, they write that the story was held in China. I don't know it's there available, this kind of magic, but in the Middle East there is a spread, not now of course, but before there was a spreaded type of magic which is calling geomancy. Geomancy, it's like you going to read the future or the present or the past using the earth. So you're going to use some rocks, you're going to use some sands, you're going to write geometrical figures. I'm not aware about that, but you can Google it and you can find the Wikipedia, all descriptions of this type of the magic. So Galland and Diab, they aware of them. I'm sure that Diab, he introduced this type of the magic to the Galland, because he was, he was Arab Syrian. And they also added in this book, making this Aladdin story more Middle Eastern. However, again, the China part is always confused. There is, of course, many variations telling why it's China. It's like they meant far land. Anyway, we already spoke about this one. Let us come back to the story. So Aladdin North African magicians, both brothers, they used to communicate using this type of art, geomancy. So young brother, when he started to use geomancy, he makes some magic on the earth, on the ground, and he found out that his brother is dead. And he knew the reason as well, that someone in China Kingdom killed him, and someone in position. And someone position young. So for sure, you just put 1 plus 1 equals 2. The young in position, it's only Aladdin. So of course he get very angry, and he wanted revenge for his brother, and he went to the China. Once he arrived to the China, he asked, he started to investigate and ask where Aladdin stays, where the princess stays, and where is the palace itself. And after he got this information, he knew that in China Kingdom there is a holy woman. She was like a saint, and her name was Fatima. This woman, Fatima, she had ability to cure people. She had her magic hands. Like if someone had a headache, they used to come to Fatima, and she used to use her hands and heal, for example, headache and pain, any kind of pain. So she was extremely famous among the people. And the magician, he set a plan after knowing about the Fatima. He set a plan. So one night he went to her house, the Fatima house, and he entered the room, and he closed the door very quietly. At that time Fatima, she was sleeping, and he cut her, and he used her hand, he shut her mouth, and he said, if you're going to give any noise, I'm going to kill you. Fatima, interesting, right? Totally different. Fatima, she got quiet, and then he released his hand and he said, I want only your clothes to exchange to my clothes, and you make me look like you, and you need to help me for that, otherwise I'm going to kill you. If you help me with that, I'm going to release you, and I'm not going to kill you, and you're going to be free and do whatever you like. You understand? And Fatima, she nodded, and then they exchanged their clothes. So the magician brother, he dressed up as a Fatima, and even he asked to make slightly makeup. In this book they're mentioning color, not makeup. So he said, the author said that Fatima, she went some room, she brought some colors, and she painted his face, and also she gave him her stick. When she was walking, obviously she was walking with her stick, and not 100% but approximately there is absurd here. See, this magician start to look like Fatima. Maybe he used some magic, to be exactly like Fatima, but anyway, he started to look like Fatima. He was pleased with the outcome. He was really pleased with the result, how he looked like Fatima. So he didn't keep his promise, and he killed Fatima, this holy woman. After killing, he threw her to the jar. We know that in old time, people used to keep their water, their oil, and many things in the jars, but not like simple small jars, but giant jars. For example, rainwater used to collect it in these giant jars. So you will not have, you don't need to go far away, next to those source of water and bring that water and use it, while you can use the rain water. So this big jar was kept Fatima's dead body. Next day, magician, he went out. Once he went out, people start to cheer and crowd around him, because they understood that this is a real Fatima, not magician. And then he acted like her. He murmured and he said a couple of prayers on the people on the right side, and he make it someone happy, and he prayed like he used the prayers, I believe surahs or ayats from Quran, and he make prayers for the people on his left side, and the people kissing his hands, kissing his feet, and cheering him too much. Obviously this holy woman was extremely popular. So by this crowd, they walk slowly, and they came to the palace itself. When they were next to the palace, Badr al-Budur, she heard those noise, it's so crowded and somebody cheering and something wrong. So she sent her maiden to check what's happening. Once the maiden, she checked what's happening, and she come back and she explained that there is a holy woman, her name is Fatima. She told her she has some kind of miracle, some abilities to heal. And Badr al-Budur, she really got interested on that, and she sent the eunuch, let's say security guy, to bring the Fatima to the palace. So the guy was sent, and he brought Fatima to Badr al-Budur, which is not Fatima, right? Which is magician's young brother. And she let her sit, and Fatima, this holy woman, in the brackets, she makes some du'as, some prayers to the Princess Badr al-Budur, and Princess Badr al-Budur, she got satisfied, and she asked holy woman, this Fatima, how it's going to be. I want to be a good servant to the God as you, so what I supposed to do? This was Badr al-Budur question. For that, Fatima, she said, I have to first pray before I answer this question, because it's not, easy question. I have to pray. For that, Badr Budur, she said, of course, come to the palace. And they were sitting in the hall, obviously, so she invited her to enter inner parts of the palace. So she said, this is the small room, this is the big room, choose whatever you like, and you may stay even in that room. Fatma, she he got excited because his plans are going as he is planned. And when he was entering to the room, Badr al-Budur, she asked her to come to eat, to have a lunch together. He wanted to say, yes, of course, I want to come. However, he understood that while he's eating, he needs to remove his cover. So here, exactly in this part of the story, I got it that it wasn't just color the face of his face, the magician's brother. He was putting a veil as well. He was putting a light veil to cover his face. So he thought, if I'm going to eat with Badr al-Budur, I have to remove the veil because I'm a woman and she's a woman. So, in front of the man, they don't remove. But when the women they're alone, he has to remove it. And when he has to remove it, surprise, it's a man. So he said, no, I don't eat, I'm not hungry, and it's okay if you bring to my room some breads and dried fruits. Badr al-Budur, she said, she got surprised a little bit because, women to move women, some chit chat, and she's refusing to have a whole. And she said, actually, I'm on diet, I don't eat heavy food, just bring for me bread and fruits into my room. And Badr al-Budur, she said, okay. They brought him bread and fruits in his room, and he took time a little bit. And Badr al-Budur, she was really curious. She wanted to know about this woman. She wanted to know, and she might help in the future, sort some kind of issues, problems. So she knocked her door, and she said, she want her to see her. So she go out from her room, she or he, and Badr al-Budur, she said, I want to show you my palace. I have this is my palace, Aladdin's palace, anyway, and I want to show my palace. And she said, come. Magician, he didn't say anything, no, and he go out. So he set another plan here. He went out with the Badr al-Budur, and Badr al-Budur, she said, this is room A and it's beautiful, la la la. This is room B and it's beautiful, la la la. And this is beautiful, our hall, it's splendid, magnificent, all the descriptions, all the beautiful adjectives, she used it there. And the magician, he said, okay, he was telling all the time, nodding, okay. And she asked his opinion or her opinion, what do you think about our palace? For that, this magician, he looked up and down to the hall, and then he said, you have beautiful, splendid and magnificent hall, however here missing something. And then Badr al-Budur, he said, what's missing? We have all the jewelry and everything in the world you can find only in our palace. It's a super brand, high-end finishing and everything. How come missing? And then he said, you might hang here in the middle egg. Not just simple egg, but ruh egg. I will tell you later on what's that. Ruh egg, you will hang it in the middle and it will be splendid. And she said, from where I will get this ruh egg? What is that? And she said, this is must-have thing what in any house. If you want to your house be more splendid, it's a must-have thing. You should have it in your house, and you should need to hang it exactly in the middle of the dome, exactly in the middle of the palace where the highest point. You have to hang that egg. And Badr al-Budur, how come I didn't know about this one, and where I can find this egg? And then she said, it's easy for you. You are super rich. You can find in Caucasus mountains. And Badr al-Budur, she was like, okay, and thank you so much, and go take rest, in your room, and we will discuss later. It's already evening time. So she got extremely interested in that thing, and she wanted because her palace have everything in her palace, so she wants something to be extraordinary in her palace. So she like acts sad. The best thing woman she can get is act sad, you know. And the fairy tales, I don't know how it's in the real time. Anyway, they're saying that she shifted her mood. She was like happy, excited when she saw this holy Fatima, and after she shared the information about Ruh Egg, she changed her mood. It's like I was reading and like, okay, and like, why she's sad? Aladdin, he was for 6 days out of the palace, and he came back. When he came back, he saw his wife, you know, how she's sad, and then he asked her, what's happened, why you sad, and all this stuff. And then she said like, our palace is the most beautiful palace in the world, and we're missing very important thing, extraordinary, and which must have thing in our palace. And then Aladdin, he's like, what? He said, what's missing? And Badr al-Budushi said that it's missing Ruh Egg. And Aladdin, he said, what is that? And then Badr al-Budushi said, it's some sort of egg, and it's needed to make it our palace more splendid. And then he said, okay. And then they went sleep, and Aladdin, he want to satisfy his wife because he doesn't want to see her upset. He took his lamp and he rubbed his lamp, and the genie come out. When he come out, Aladdin, he said, genie, I have one request, you need to do it. And genie, you know, of course. And he said, bring me Ruh Egg. And instead of receiving the answer prompt, of course, I will do your order and I please you, from the genie, he didn't get any answer. Aladdin, he didn't get any answer, and it was like a pause between genie and Aladdin. So Aladdin, he repeated again. He said, I want Ruh Egg, to genie. And then genie, he speak out. It was normally all the story, genie doesn't speak at all. All he do, yes, of course, yes, I will do your order, whatever, you got me, right? And here he speak out. He said, it is not enough. And then Aladdin, you know, like, what? He said, I will read exactly what he said here. He said, what, is it not enough that I have done everything to serve you? This is the genie, what he's saying. Must I now bring you my master and hang him from the dome of your dining hall? And Aladdin, he's like, you know, genie, he's never entered to the dialogue to speak with Aladdin, and you understand the feeling, Aladdin, you know, this, you were machine who do the orders. And then genie, he continued to speak. He said, what you requested, it is not your request, first of all. Second of all, this egg has a superpower, and if I'm going to bring that egg from the Caucasus, yeah, they put the location of the egg, I don't know is it exists, or this Ruh Egg, it's mentioned 3 times in the book itself, in the other stories as well, not only in Aladdin. So it has something magic, some kind of power. And he said, if I'm going to bring this egg from the Caucasus and I'm going to hang it in the middle of the dome, in the middle of the palace, do you know that all of you are going to turn to the ashes and you're going to die? And Aladdin, he's like staring at him, he froze, and first of all, you know, he's in shock because genie, he's talking to him, you know, somehow he has a conversation, genie from the lamp. And the circumstances and what's happening and the outcome, if he's going to fulfill this one, and he can fulfill this one, jinn. And jinn, he is here acting as a savior, which normally he doesn't act. He should not give advices, for example, to not do something, but do the orders. all he must do is take orders and accomplish them. And yet genie, he's continuing, and he said, do you know that this order didn't come from princess? He said, do you know that order is not from you? Do you know that order is not from the Badr al-Budur? Do you know that this order is from magician's young brother who killed Holy Fatima, and he stays in your palace and act like a Holy Fatima, and his wish to kill you? It's something extremely extraordinary which didn't happen in the book from the beginning story and to the end story. And the funny thing, it's not added part later, it was complete story. So it's something new for me and maybe for you as well. So he said, he wants to kill you, and it's up to you, save yourself. So again, he giving to Aladdin choice. You want to really bring Ruh Egg and you don't want to believe me, or you want to believe to your wife who want to make it his palace splendid. Aladdin, we know that Aladdin in this book showed that he was like a lazy guy, but by time he become a humble, he become a smart, and he become a wise and all this stuff. Here he said okay, and he didn't say yes, bring this egg. He give for himself again time to think, and he asked the princess to send to send someone, the messenger, to bring the Fatima. For the reason what he said to princess, he didn't say what all jinn, what he said, like he's going to kill you, and it's the Ruh Egg. I considered is like a bomb on TikTok, you know, like TikTok. You will hang the bomb in the middle of the dome, it's going to be explode. This is wonderful thing you can associate with. So basically it was like jewelry bomb, I don't know how to say, but in the end it's bomb. Ruh Egg considered the bomb. Bomb also, you know, it's round shape, it's beautiful, and when it explodes, the palace gone. Who lives in the palace? Everybody gone. So Aladdin, he said, the lady who said to bring this Ruh Egg, right? Her name is Fatima. You told me she has healing stuff. I'm really having bad headache today. Oh my God. Can you send someone to bring this holy lady and heal my brain? It's going to be explode. For instance, she said, of course. You don't have to even send. She's in our palace. She stays in our palace. So promptly they went, servants, and of course they told to this Holy Fatima, aka magician's brother, that Aladdin is waiting for him or her. Let's say her. For that, he got extremely happy. This is the chance. This is the chance what he was waiting for him, to be closer to Badr al-Budur, then be closer to Aladdin. And he, because Aladdin, of course, he knew that Aladdin is not aware for something, which is not. He already knew all the information, Aladdin. So that's the perfect moment to kill. So he grabbed the dagger, the knife, right, and he put it under his layer of clothes, because it's a woman clothes and she is veiled. For sure it will be layer of clothes, and it's easy to hide that dagger. So when they entered the room, imagine he entered the room, Aladdin he sit and he turned his back, and then this guy he want to kill the princess somewhere in the room as well. But Aladdin, he became a hero. He caught the magician brother and he stabbed him back. So in this event, in this story, in this moment, in this situation, who was that is magician himself. He couldn't handle the dagger, and Aladdin, he knew that he going to attack him back, because this was his plan as per genie's words. And then princess, she said, oh my God, what you've done, oh my God, what you've done. And then Aladdin, he said, relax, and I said, you kill holy woman, do you know what does it mean? And Aladdin, he said, no, I didn't kill holy woman, and this is the proof. And he removed the veil, and he removed, you know, upper part of the headdress, and princess, she saw, I'll put here picture, she saw the man face with the beard. Yeah, that's the end of the story. End of the story ends in this way. And here also the last like 2 sentences, Aladdin was saved from 2 brothers, 2 magicians, and because Sultan, he didn't have any sons to inherit everything, so he inherited everything. It's passed to his daughter, and Badr al-Budur and Aladdin, they rule the country successfully, and their generation becomes successful generation like this, the happy end. This is the end of the story, guys. We don't have any more continuations, but it's extremely awkward and weird, right? It's really extraordinary thing, and you will not find it here. There is of course explanation, because we know this story is told by Shahrazad to the Shahriyar, to the king, to the Sultan. Every night, we know Shahrazad, the servant lady, which has to be survived every night, she tells the story to the king, Sultan Shahriyar. She make her own conclusion in beautiful manner. I noted down, of course, her conclusion, and you know, every fairy tale teach us something, right? So I'm going to share with you what she thinks that this story teaches. First of all, she said there is, of course, a good character and bad character. Good character here is Aladdin. He humble person, and he grow time by time, and he doesn't have that thirst to the money. And on the other hand, we have a magician who is hungry and who want everything super easy, and he doesn't want to fight for it. And this behavior and this his character killed himself because he was desiring, he had the mania for the money, for the gold, while Aladdin didn't do so much. What she meant here, Aladdin, he had in his hand lamp, and at the beginning he could use this lamp as much as he could. You know, he could not request the food of tray, what we said in the first part, but request immediately palace. So here they're showing how he humble and slowly he grow, and he didn't let's say overuse the power of the lamp. He used the lamp only on the necessary time, while magician, he wouldn't do that. This is her conclusion. And also in the second hand, we have another character, Sultan, and magician brother, right? Sultan, here she said that you should be very accurate about your decisions, because otherwise you will not hold your crown on your head, especially when it comes to the anger. We know that when he was so much angry with Aladdin, he wanted to execute him immediately. But Vizier, he gave him good advice, and he listened to him, and he cooled down, and outcome, it come better. So she meant here, your self-control is very important. So if you control yourself and control your anger, means you're controlling everything around you. And Badr al-Budur, she didn't mention anything about Badr al-Budur. She mentioned only 4 characters as a conclusion, but it's up to you how you want to make conclusion about the Badr al-Budur. So the magician brother, he was hungry for revenge, and also he used religion in a bad manner. When she said that religion in bad manner, she meant that, you know, she used Holy Fatma, and she used the prayers, and which should not be involved in the stuff. On the other hand, he is a magician, which is not allowed in Islam to use any kind of magic. Not even in Islam, in all monotheistic religion, not allowed to use magic. It's forbidden. So that's the story. That's the end of the story. I hope you like it. We complete Aladdin's story. If you want, of course, only upon your comments I will do this request. If you want, we can talk about all the stories about Arabian Nights. They are really interesting and they are different. So see how much different they change and evolve this Aladdin and Wonderful Lamp fairy tale to our day. So it was created in 18th century and evolved after like 250 years in this manner, and no flying carpets we have in our book, right? And we have a second genie which is coming from the ring, and we don't have this kind of ending. We don't have Vizier Jafar as a black guy, as a bad guy. We have a mother of Badr al-Budur. Name of Badr al-Budur changed. So there is the story itself in China, which is already shocking, you know. And if you're going to put like points, we have around 20-25 differences between the original story of Aladdin and the Disney character of Aladdin. I hope you like the story. Thank you so much for listening to me. Please like and subscribe, and see you till the next time. Bye.